The only reason I'm making this video is for very few people who may not know how to change oil. Anyways, all you're going to need is a socket set. That's what I have there. I also have a like a hammer mallet type of. It's not a mallet, but it's shaped like kind of like a mallet, but it's actually it's not rubber or anything. It's all steel or iron. And then you'll need an oil filter wrench. And I use synthetic oil, and if you buy the great big one, you save 10 bucks. It's usually about $10 a quart, but I bought a 5-quart bottle of it, and it was only 40 bucks, so I saved 10 bucks. If you buy and I bought 6 because I always have more than 5 quarts. I have about 6, almost 6, it was like 5.5 quarts, and I'm right where I want to be on my dipstick, oil dipstick. So I also get the Royal Purple filter, and that's what you have here, and an oil pan. So, you know, I mean, it really pays to use good oil and good oil filters. The synthetic stuff, you know, is supposed to seal up holes or stuff, it leaks and all this stuff, and save your gaskets, and I don't know what else it does, but I use it because it's, you know, better, and I don't mind doing it. It lasts longer. I only change my oil about once every 7,000 miles, 7 or 8,000. So anyways, this is what you're gonna need. And okay, you're looking at the front of the vehicle, the grill, and we're going up underneath the vehicle here. And I've got my, obviously my drain pan, oil pan there. But anyways, this is the front left tire. And so it takes a 5/8. As soon as you get underneath here, you can look straight up, and there is my oil filter. Here is the oil pan. We're looking right at it, and try. All right, so oil drain plug right there, and so yeah, I'm gonna have to use this mallet, I think, because I tighten these really tight, and you're probably not going to have to watch a video to know how to change your oil. In fact, all you really need to do is give this one good, hit it really good once. Break it, there it goes, it's broke. Okay, now I'm going to position this so that it catches it. It should start pouring out. You can just basically undo it by hand once you break it like I did. Wait, maybe not. Here, I spoke too soon. I should really go get a new
oil. I don't want this to start spewing all over my fingers, and it will. Surprised it hasn't started coming out yet. I might be able to do this without it spewing. So, there it comes. And I'm going to loosen it. I keep the pressure on it so it doesn't fall out, but now I'm just going to jerk it out.
Okay, there it goes, right down into the pan. And I didn't spill any of it. It's awesome. So, what I do with this is, after I drain it all out into this oil pan, I will drain it. I'll take off the oil filter next. And then I will let this cool off, and I will pour it into the empty oil containers after I pour the new oil after I put the oil drain plug back in. And I like to use it to get like campfires going, like dry wood or wet wood. If it's not burning too well, you can always put some of that on it, and it burns it right up and it starts good fires. So anyways, I'll be back. I'm gonna let this drain out. Okay, so how this oil wrench works is basically whichever way you figure out which way it turns, you put it on it so that you put it around the filter so that it turns whichever way. Like you want it to go this way, or if it goes the other way, then you'll flip it around so you can go that way, because you have to turn this way, otherwise you won't keep the grip. See how it grips? So right down here, I said, is the oil filter, and I'm gonna find out which way it turns because I always forget. So I'm going left. No, that's right. So I gotta flip it around. Flip it around. Down there.
Okay. So it's coming loose, I can tell. Okay, it's loose enough.
Oh, with this oil wrench, that I can just twist it off by hand. As you can see, my drain pan, oil pan, is down there filling with oil. And I want to reach down there. I wanted to make sure every last bit of my oil drained out, and it looks like it has. So I'm just going to scoot it over a little bit so it should catch the oil that's going to come out
from my oil filter. As you can see, it's directly, now the oil pan is directly below it. You can see it down there barely. It's down there. There you go, you can see it. Right down there. Okay, so once you loosen this up to where you really hear it coming out of there, it holds quite a bit of oil in this little sucker. Okay.
And try to make sure you wait till it cools off, because these things are going to be hot. And when you get your new oil filter out, I'm going to let that one drain. Get my new one out. It's important that you take a little bit of oil and this is the 1 quart that I got. And there's a rubber seal here, right here where my hand is, my finger. You want to take some oil and saturate that rubber seal. So I'm just going to try to pour some over it. Just kind of get it as much oil on that as you can. I guess that's just supposed to keep it from freezing on your motor or sticking on there. So I get it nice and oily. You can reach your finger down in here, get some oil on your finger. You know, just make sure that little rubber seal is nice and saturated with oil. And you can see it's pretty wet with oil now. Okay, so that's important. Always do that. When you put this back on, you'll see that you don't have to use this wrench anymore. You're not supposed to tighten this any tighter than what your hand can tighten it. I always keep a rag somewhere in my underneath the hood somewhere. I always keep a rag to check my oil when I'm out and about, if I feel like I need to check my oil. So I pretty much let the old oil filter drain out as much as I could. And that's that old thing. So I'll put the new one on there now. Changing oil is one of the simplest things you can do to your vehicle. And you save money, basically. And when I buy the, like I said, only hand tighten this. I'm going to use a rag. You don't want to use a wrench to tighten it. Okay, I can't get it any tighter. Okay, I'm pretty confident that that is tight enough. So now we got the new oil filter on there. So now we need to get back underneath here. And you can pull the, you can basically pull the oil out from underneath here now. There's my drain plug and my wrench. So there's all the old oil, nice and dirty stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna get in from the front because I just feel like it works better. Anything you can do to your car without having to take it somewhere to do the maintenance on it, I recommend doing it yourself because you're gonna save money. Plus, like I said, they always recommended 3 months or 3,000 miles. But with this new synthetic oil, I think you can get more. Again, this socket was a 5/8 inch socket. And like I said, I tighten it pretty tight. That's why I needed that mallet to get it open. But, so, now I have it all pretty much done. All you have to do now is pour in the new oil. So, let's get to that. Okay. Always use a funnel. Let me return really quick to get a funnel. Okay, back I come. So let that drain out, check your oil, and I got an extra quart there to make sure I top it off in between the safe and the fill line. Check your oil now. As you know, I've put the drain plug back in, so okay, that was perfect. It's right in the safe area. It's kind of funny because this oil actually has a purple tint to it. And anyways, so that's an easy operation there. I mean, this is something that anybody can do. You can save money. In fact, you might think, well, yeah, but I gotta buy tools. Well, yeah, but when you're changing your oil for your 14th time 7 years from now, you're not going to have to. You're paying for those tools is the price of paying for the tools will long been, you know, made up for the money you would have been paying some stupid oil lube place to do it, you know. So there you go. I always stuff a rag somewhere in underneath the hood, so that's where I keep a rag. So all right, so that's how you change your oil for the Jeep Grand Cherokee. One last tip: always make sure you start your vehicle up, let the oil run through the motor, fill up the oil filter, let it run for several minutes, turn it back off, and let the oil drain down for about 5 more minutes, and then check your oil dipstick again, because it won't be where it was once the oil circulates through your motor. So after you change your oil, you put the drain plug back in, pour new oil in there, turn your motor on for a little bit, not very long because you don't want it to overheat because it's not going to have enough oil in it. But then turn it off and let it sit for about 5 minutes so that the oil drains back down in there, and then check it again because it's not going to be where it needs to be before you start driving it regularly again after changing the oil. All right, that's it. And I take the old oil that was in the drain pan, and I pour it back into these empty quarts after I put the new oil in there. Like I said, you can take it to your a lot of places will take it. You got to do a Google search. They'll take your old oil. They use it for specific things, but I like to use it to burn firewood and burn wood that's like maybe not all the way dry or something. All right, have a good day. Bye.